Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Immortal and welcome to a CSGO update video. So if you guys didn't know, a new update just dropped and it came out with a new case and a new weapon. So the new weapon is called the R8, and I'm gonna have to buy it really quick. The R8 Revolver, it costs $850, so you're not able to buy it first weapon round. But as you can see, it replaces your deagle, and I'm going to show off some of the things that I discovered and think about it. So, first thing is, there's a left click action, which pulls the trigger back. Basically, you're squeezing the trigger. If you guys don't know how to read revolvers, you're squeezing the trigger by itself, and it takes a while, and it fires. And there's also a left click, which is you take your hand, you pull the hammer back, and you pull the trigger. So when you pull the hammer back, it creates what's called a hairpin trigger, which it takes very little pressure to set it off. As you can see, it happens very quickly. So at a standstill, they're decently accurate, but when moving, when moving a little bit, the right click is accurate, but when moving a lot, this is completely inaccurate, as you can see. So I want to show you guys some cool things that I have discovered about this weapon. So the first thing is, if you spam the left click, it creates a rattlesnake noise. It makes what I think is a rattlesnake noise, similar to the Glock switching from burst to automatic fire. So that's one thing. So I think this would be a good eco gun or a good force buy gun. This costs $850. It one-shots in the chest, head, and arms, and it legs an opponent just like an op. So I'm gonna die here, and I will show you guys the next thing. So as you can see, it's got this really cool animation. So if I click T, on this thing, which is my inspect, as you can see, it spins around my finger, and it does that. So as you can see, it spins around my finger, kind of like a karambit. So if you spam it, as you can see, if you spam inspect and R, it kind of does like the karambit spin. Kind of, it breaks a little bit. So as I said, this is basically, I talked with a couple guys in deathmatch, and they said this is basically an op in the form of a pistol. So this does an insane amount of damage. It can leg, it'll one-shot in chest, one-shot in arms, and obviously one-shot in head. So this thing is more powerful than a deagle, but it costs more, and there's a big drawback. As you can see, there's only 16 shots. So you can get an ace with this. It's possible, but the chances of you doing it are very unlikely, considering that most of the time you're going to be using the left click, or the right click, which spams. So now one thing that I discovered that's really cool is if you pull the trigger back, if you're fast enough, you can peek and shoot it and then hold it behind cover, which is pretty cool. So let me think, is there anything else? Okay, and then one thing I think may happen is if I inspect it really quick, as you can see, there's a rail there on the bottom below the barrel, and there's a rail on the top near the sights. Now what I think that means is in a later update they're going to add a scope to it. Now here's the reason I think why. So with guns like the AUG and the SG553, you press right click to zoom into the scope, same with sniper rifles, and you press left click to fire. Now why I think this is happening is if you attach a scope to it, obviously that takes it to the quick fire mode. So you basically zoom in and you're able to pull the hammer back and accurately fire. So that basically just makes the gun extremely accurate. And that's why I think they're going to add a right click or a scope to it. And because there's things on the bottom, they might add something like a flashlight or something, I don't know. But I really think that's what they're going to add. And of course, as I said before, they dropped a new case. This case is obviously called the Revolver Case, and the Revolver Case has a bunch of new skins. I believe most of them are from the workshop, and they look all decent. Ever since Valve started adding skins from the workshop instead of skins that they designed themselves, everything's been looking decent. And I'm sorry for the lagginess. But there's a knife in this case, and I have yet to see the case because I haven't opened one, and no one's obviously made a video about it because it just dropped like an hour ago. So now here's what I think is going to be new and special about the case. This case is going to add knife skins from the workshop, because unlike things like Breakout Case and Shadow Case, it doesn't say an exceedingly rare shadow daggers or an exceedingly rare butterfly knife. It just says an exceedingly rare special item, meaning that I think this case is adding new skins for knives from the workshop. This means that obviously some of your favorite workshop knife skins are going to be in the game, which is pretty cool. Like, I know the Emerald has been a really big one that a lot of big people have been pushing because there's no actual green knives, so I think that's pretty cool. But there's a ton of new skins. Like, there's the R8 Crimson Web, there's the R8 Fade, there is new AUG skins, new 5.7 skin, new SG 5.53 skins. There's just so many cool stuff, and I'm really looking forward to this case. Right now the case is $36.86, meaning that if you're lucky enough to get 2, you can sell that and buy a knife. Now obviously with my trading gods video, I'd want to get a bunch of these cases, sell them on the market, and be able to profit on them, get a couple keys, and put that towards my knife, the knife that I'm trying to get. But one thing I believe is going to be happening very, very soon is, because they added 2 new cases, and they added a new gun, and they may be adding new knife skins. They've already confirmed the drop of a new operation, but I think we can kind of expect what this operation is going to have. So it's going to have workshop skins, because most of the skins from the Shadow Case were from workshop, most of the skins from this case is from workshop. It might add new knife skins from workshop. So I think the operation is going to be another way you can get your favorite skins from workshop. So I know the creator of the Mac-10 Neon Rider has a bunch of other skins that a lot of people love, just they haven't been added to the game. And so that's what I think is going to happen. So I was testing this in Deathmatch, as I said, and this thing is basically an AWP in your hand, an AWP with increased movement speeds and almost no bullets. So if you're good with a deagle and the fact that you can peek, shoot, and run back, this is good, because if you can stand still and shoot this with left click, it's pretty inaccurate. Like, as you can see, it's all going all over the place. Like, this is so inaccurate just from a standstill. From a crouching standstill, it's still inaccurate. But this is pretty accurate. If you can get good with hiding behind a wall, peeking with it, shooting, and running back, that would be good. I forget the team, but there's a pro team where, whenever they do force buys or ecos, almost all of them buy deagles, and they just overwhelm the other team with the deagle shots, and they usually win. Someone might correct me in the comments, but that's what I think is going to be in this new case. The new things that are going to happen, I'm pretty sure Anomaly, as you guys know, he always likes to be the first person to upload a good video of him unboxing these cases. I can see him unboxing this, getting the R8 Fade, and getting some of the hopefully new workshop knife skins. And again, most of the stuff I said was speculation, except for the stuff that I proved in the video, like the scope for the R8 and the new knife workshop skins. So yeah. So hopefully you guys liked this video. Hopefully I answered some questions that you guys might have. Hopefully I was able to give you guys some thoughts on what might be coming up next, and I really hope that they do add a scope for this thing. But one thing I'm going to say before I hand off is, this thing, don't get too comfortable with this thing, because this thing is so powerful, it's going to be nerfed like hell in the coming future. Just like the CZ75 auto when it was introduced, this thing is going to get nerfed like crazy. And I can see a lot of people not being too happy once this gets nerfed, so don't try not to get too attached to it. But I've said that I think a revolver should be in the game, and now there is one, and I can see why it isn't in the game, because they also took away the running and gunning with the pistols in the new update. So this changes the entire form of pistols in terms of stand back, fire accurately, instead of rush in, shoot as many bullets as you can, hope you kill someone, get a headshot with no armor. So that's basically rips the dualies, rips the 5.7, rips the Tech 9, rips the CZ, rips the P250. Basically, now the only good guns, I guess you'd say, are the Deagle and this thing. Because every other gun you basically use to run in and shoot, where the other guns you hold back and you tap fire. You're playing very defensively with those guns. It's very difficult to play offensively with those guns. Anyway, I'm trying this out. See you guys next time. Bye!